Income tax is now recording the statement of Robert Vadra in connection with the Benami properties case. Statement being recorded at his premises. Vadra was earlier summoned, but he failed to appear, citing the pandemic. Today, the IT officials are recording his statement as we speak. That is the latest breaking news that is coming in. Income tax sleuths are at Robert Vadra's residence. His statement is now being recorded. Remember, he was also being probed by the Enforcement Directorate under the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, but that's separate. At the moment, what we are picking up right now is that the IT department is recording the statement of Robert Vadra. Munish is getting us all the very latest detail. Munish, IT relents on Robert Vadra. Not just that, the ED is also probing him under the provisions of PMLA.
Yeah, well, the Enforcement Directorate is probing, but today the income tax officials have reached the residence of Robert Vadra, and what we have been given to understand is that his statement is being recorded in connection with the Benami properties. Now, when we are talking about the Benami properties, multiple agencies have come up with multiple properties, not only in London, but also in India. What the agencies believes that there was some amount of money which Robert Vadra received, and that was invested on Benami names, that without any giving his own name or any family member's name. It was on Benami. So that is why in this Benami properties case, Income Tax Department is recording statement of Robert Vadra as we speak. I have been given to understand is that Robert Vadra was summoned earlier by the Income Tax Department at multiple times, but he evaded the summon. He failed to appear before the Income Tax Department, citing pandemic reasons, saying that due to COVID he cannot appear. So that is when the Income Tax Department that is decided that they will go to his premises and then they will record this statement, and as we speak his statement is being recorded by the Income Tax Department.
If you could also give us a sense of what are these Benami properties that we are talking about. Of course, there was that one, the London-based property at 12 Byronston Square. Robert Vadra, as we know, is out on anticipatory bail as well. Just give us a sense of what the IT department is exactly probing right now.
Yeah, well, Chaiti, if you remember, one of the allegations against Robert Vadra is that in two of the deals, one is petroleum deal and there is another deal, Samsung ONGC deal. In these two deals, there was one person, Sanjay Bhandari. He was the mediator. Now, what the agencies believe that the amount of commission which was given to Sanjay Bhandari, it was not commission, but it was in, basically it was given to Robert Vadra, and it was routed through Sanjay Bhandari. That is one of the allegations against Robert Vadra. And that is when the ED and apart from that Income Tax Department, both the agencies started probing into it. The amount which came as a commission for both this defense deal and the petroleum deal, that money was diverted and multiple properties were bought in London. More than 6 properties were bought in London. It was routed through maze of companies, complex chains of bank accounts, and then it was routed on Benami names. And that is when the Income Tax Department started their probe. The information was shared with the Enforcement Directorate. ED has already recorded a statement. Multiple times Robert Vadra appeared before the Enforcement Directorate to record his statement in connection with the same case. But as of now, what Income Tax Department is doing is that they are recording statement of Robert Vadra and the statements which were given by many witnesses. For example, there were many close aides of Robert Vadra who allegedly told the Enforcement Directorate and other agencies that Sanjay Bhandari was known to Robert Vadra, and Sanjay Bhandari indeed received the money. There are other people who were directors of the companies through which the money was channeled and diverted. And that is when the suspicion of Income Tax Department and ED arose. The Congress party, Robert Vadra and other family members of Gandhi family have time and again said that this is a political vendetta. Robert Vadra has not done anything wrong. Priyanka Gandhi, we saw last time when the Enforcement Directorate summoned, she appeared along with Robert Vadra. Of course, she was not allowed, but she was with Robert Vadra when he appeared before the Enforcement Directorate. But today the income tax officials are at his residence. what income tax says, that this is going to be very important questioning of Robert Vadra, because they want to know that what was the source of money and how this entire chain of money was diverted through Sanjay Bhandari, who is still in London, and his extradition process is being seen by the investigative agencies. They are trying to get Sanjay Bhandari to India so that
Yes.
he can be one of the main accused and the main
Yeah.
chain who can connect Robert Vadra to all these Benami properties who were allegedly bought by him.
All right, Manish is breaking the story first on India Today with the raids that are taking place of the Income Tax Department. Income Tax Department is recording the statement of Robert Vadra at his residence. Earlier, he was summoned, but he did not appear, citing the reasons of a pandemic. But at the moment, the IT department is recording a statement of Robert Vadra in connection with the Benami properties case.